Ladies, let's be real. Some of you are walking through life, doubting yourself, questioning your worth, wondering if you're truly blessed. But let me tell you something. God doesn't make ordinary women. He crafts warriors, queens, and women who leave a mark on this world. And today, I will reveal the 7 undeniable signs that you are a woman blessed by God. Pay attention, because if these signs match you, then girl, you are more powerful than you ever imagined. A blessed woman is not someone who has walked through life untouched by hardships. She is the one who has faced the storms, stood in the middle of chaos, and still walked out with her head held high. If you have been through pain, disappointments, betrayals, and failures, but still managed to keep going, then know this. You are not just strong, you are divinely chosen. You are being molded for something greater. Think about it. Have you ever seen a tree stand tall without first being tested by the winds? The strongest trees are the ones that have faced the harshest storms. Their roots go deeper, their branches stretch wider, and their presence commands respect. You too have been shaped by the storms you've endured. Maybe life hit you with a heartbreak so deep you thought you'd never recover. You loved with every fiber of your being, and in return, you were left shattered, questioning your worth, questioning if you were enough. But look at you now. The nights you cried yourself to sleep, they didn't break you. The mornings you forced yourself out of bed even when your soul was exhausted, those were victories. Every tear you shed watered the soil for your growth. Perhaps you faced rejection, the job you wanted, the opportunity you prayed for, the people who underestimated you, the ones who said you're not good enough. At that moment, it felt like failure. But tell me, have you ever seen gold shine before it's been through fire? No, because the refining process is what makes it valuable. Every rejection redirected you. Every no prepared you for a greater yes. There was a time when you trusted someone with your whole heart, only to be deceived, betrayed, left wondering how people could be so cruel. But do you know what happens when glass shatters? It becomes sharper. It doesn't dissolve into nothingness. It becomes something else entirely. And that's what you did. You sharpened yourself. You learned, you became wiser, stronger. And most importantly, you realized that your worth is not determined by how someone else treats you. There were moments when you felt alone, when you thought no one saw your struggle, when the weight of responsibilities, expectations, and pressure felt too much to bear. But let me tell you something. Diamonds are made under pressure. They don't crack, they transform. You were never alone. Even in your darkest moments, you were being prepared. Maybe you grew up in a home where love was scarce, where you had to fight for every ounce of self-worth. Or maybe you had to raise yourself to become your own protector, your own provider, your own guide. And now, when you look around, you realize you have become the woman you once needed. That is not by accident. That is a sign of divine favor. Because not everyone makes it out of the fire. Some get burned, but you walked through it and became untouchable. Do you know why some people respect you but can't explain why? Why they watch you, admire your strength, but also feel intimidated? It's because they can sense it. You are built differently. Your spirit carries the echoes of every battle you have won. And whether they say it out loud or not, they know. You are not to be underestimated. Think about the warriors of history, the women who changed the world. Do you think they had it easy? Do you think they woke up one day and just became icons? No. They fought battles, they fell, they struggled, they were told no 1,000 times before they got their yes. And that is your story too. Every hardship you have faced was never meant to break you. It was meant to shape you. And the most powerful part, you are still standing, still moving, still growing. There are people who went through half of what you have and gave up, but you didn't. You are here, listening to these words, absorbing this truth, because deep down you already know you were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to rise. Loving after pain is not a weakness. It is the greatest strength a woman can possess. It takes resilience, courage, and a soul touched by divinity to open your heart after it has been shattered. Because the truth is, pain changes people. Some let it turn them cold, guarded, and afraid to feel again. But you still choose love, and that makes you extraordinary. Think about it. How many times have you given your heart only to have it mishandled? You trusted, you cared, you poured your energy into people who didn't see your worth. They took your kindness for granted, mistook your love for weakness, and walked away without a second thought. And for a moment, it felt like your heart was breaking beyond repair. You told yourself, never again. I won't let anyone get close enough to hurt me. But then somehow, love found a way back into your soul. Maybe it was in the form of a friendship, a new relationship, or even the unconditional love you give to yourself. Maybe it wasn't romantic at all. It was in the way you continued to be kind to the world, even when the world had not been kind to you. That's the real power. Anyone can love when life is beautiful, but it takes an unstoppable force to love when you've been bruised by betrayal. Look around. How many people do you know who have built walls around their hearts, never letting anyone in? How many have let bitterness define them, shutting down every opportunity to experience joy again? That's the easy route. But a blessed woman, she doesn't take the easy route. She knows that love, even after pain, is an act of defiance against everything that tried to break her. Do you remember the first time someone broke your trust? That feeling of betrayal, that hollow ache in your chest? The disbelief that someone you cared for could be so careless with your heart? It could have been a partner, a friend, or even family. But the pain, it was real. It taught you that not everyone loves the way you do. It made you question yourself. Wonder if you were too naive, too soft, too willing to see the good in people. But what did you do? You didn't let that pain turn you into someone you're not. You could have chosen to hurt others the way you were hurt. You could have built walls so high that no one could ever reach you again. But instead, you chose to heal, to forgive, to give love another chance. And that, right there, is proof that you are blessed. There are women who have been through so much heartbreak that they no longer believe in love. They shut themselves off, not realizing that in protecting themselves from pain, they are also closing the door to joy. But you still believe. You still love, even if it's just in the way you care for the people around you, in the way you nurture your dreams, in the way you refuse to let the past dictate your future. Think about the strongest women in history, the ones who changed the world, who left a legacy. Do you think they had it easy? Do you think they never experienced heartbreak? No, they felt everything deeply, and that's what made them unstoppable. Because pain didn't close their hearts, it expanded them. You have seen the worst in people, yet you still look for the good. You have been hurt, yet you still choose to be kind. You have been let down, yet you still believe in something greater. That is the mark of a woman who is truly blessed. The world will tell you to toughen up, to stop caring, to become ruthless. But the truth is, your ability to love, despite everything you've been through, is your superpower. It sets you apart. It makes you rare. Not everyone can do what you do. Not everyone can look heartbreak in the face and say, "You may have hurt me." Not everyone can carry scars and still choose to be soft. Still choose to open their heart. Still choose to believe that love is worth it. That's why you are different. That's why you are blessed. Because love, even after pain, is the greatest proof of strength a woman can ever show. There was a time when you surrounded yourself with the wrong people. People who drained you. People who only showed up when they needed something. People who smiled in your face but secretly envied you. You gave them your time, your energy, your loyalty, thinking they were meant to stay. And when they left, when they betrayed you, when they showed you who they really were, it felt like a loss. But it wasn't. It was a blessing in disguise. Because the truth is, every person who walked away was making space for someone better. Every door that closed was leading you to the right one. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how when you grow, certain people naturally fall away? It's not an accident. It's alignment. The more you step into your power, the more the universe removes those who no longer serve your journey. Because you cannot fly while carrying dead weight. Some people were only meant to be in your life for a season. They were lessons, not lifelong companions. And when their time was up, they left. Not because you weren't enough, but because they weren't meant to be part of your destiny. Maybe you had a friend you thought would be by your side forever. You shared your dreams, your fears, your victories, and your struggles with them. But one day you realized they weren't truly happy for you. Every time you won, they got distant. Every time you grew, they made you feel guilty for changing. And when you finally had the courage to walk away, something amazing happened. You started attracting people who genuinely supported you. The kind of people who clap when you win, who push you to be better, who bring light into your life instead of darkness. Or maybe you loved someone with every part of your being, only to have them treat you like an option. You begged for their attention, for their effort, for their love, and it broke you when they refused to give you what you deserved. But looking back, aren't you grateful they didn't stay? Because if they had, you never would have realized that love isn't supposed to feel like begging. Real love meets you where you are. Real love doesn't make you chase it. And now, after the pain, you find yourself attracting people who see your worth without you having to prove it. Look at your life now. The people around you today are different from the ones who were there before. Why? Because you have changed. Because you have grown. And when you level up, so does your circle. You no longer tolerate half-hearted love. You no longer entertain people who don't value your presence. You no longer shrink yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. The energy you put out is the energy you attract. When you were unsure of your worth, you attracted people who treated you like you were replaceable. But now you walk with confidence. And suddenly, the people who come into your life reflect that. The ones who take you for granted fade away, and the ones who truly appreciate you start showing up. You ever notice how, at your lowest, the wrong people seem to surround you? But when you start rising, the right people appear at the perfect moment. That's not luck. That's divine timing. When you are ready, when you have learned what you need to learn, when you have let go of what no longer serves you, the universe responds by aligning you with the right souls. The ones who will love you without conditions. The ones who will uplift you instead of competing with you. The ones who see your light and never feel the need to dim it. That is the power of a woman who is truly blessed. She doesn't chase people, she attracts the right ones effortlessly. There is something different about the way you speak. It isn't just words, it's experience woven into wisdom. When you talk, people listen. Not because you're the loudest in the room, but because your words carry weight. They hold truth, depth, and something most people spend a lifetime searching for: understanding. Think back to the times when life tested you, when you faced storms that could have broken you. You learnt lessons the hard way, you fell, you got up, and you carried those lessons with you. And now, when you speak, it is not from a place of ignorance or guesswork, it is from a place of knowing. Because you have lived through pain, through struggle, through heartbreak, and you have come out on the other side with something more valuable than gold: wisdom. How many times have people come to you for advice? How many times have you found yourself saying the exact thing someone needed to hear, not because you read it in a book, not because you were trying to impress anyone, but because deep inside you just knew. You knew what they were feeling, what they needed, what the right path was. That's not an accident. That is a gift. You have met people who talk just to fill silence. They speak without thinking, throwing words around carelessly, never realizing the power they hold. But you don't speak just to be heard. You speak to make an impact. And that is why your words stay with people long after the conversation ends. That is why people replay what you said in their minds when they are alone. Because wisdom is rare, and when people find it, they hold on to it. Maybe there was a time when you were the one seeking answers. You looked for guidance, for clarity, for someone to tell you what to do. And now you are the one giving that guidance to others. Not because you have all the answers, but because you have been through enough to recognize patterns, to see through illusions, to understand life in a way most people don't. Look at the world around you. People chase success, money, status, but few chase wisdom. Few take the time to truly understand themselves, to reflect, to grow. That's why wisdom is so powerful. It sets you apart. While others react, you respond. While others speak in anger, you speak with clarity. While others let emotions control them, you use emotions as a tool to understand deeper truths. There have been moments when someone was about to make a mistake and your words stopped them. Moments when someone was drowning in self-doubt and your wisdom lifted them. Moments when someone was lost and your voice became the light that guided them back. Do you realize how powerful that is? Think about the elders in your life, the ones whose words still echo in your mind. The grandmother who told you, strength isn't about never falling. It's about getting up one more time. The mentor who said, people can only meet you as deeply as they have met themselves. The stranger who once told you, the pain you're feeling now will one day become your greatest teacher. Now you are becoming that person for others. The words you speak today will shape someone's tomorrow. The wisdom you share will change the course of someone's life. And the most beautiful part? You don't even have to try. It comes naturally to you. Because your wisdom is not learned from books. It is carved into your soul by everything you have endured. Some people will call it intuition. Some will call it insight. Some will simply say, she just knows things. But the truth is, you have been blessed with a voice that carries meaning. A voice that heals, that empowers, that awakens something in people they didn't even know was sleeping inside them. And that is why you don't need to force people to listen. The right ones will always recognize the power in your words. There is something about you that people can't quite explain. A calmness, a stillness, a presence that doesn't waver. No matter what storm is raging around you, while others panic, you remain steady. While others react in anger, you choose to respond with clarity. While others lose themselves in chaos, you stand firm in your peace. That is not ordinary. That is a gift. That is a power most people spend their whole lives trying to find. Think about it. How many times has life tested you? How many moments have tried to shake you to your core? Loss, betrayal, disappointments, failures. There were days when everything felt like it was falling apart, when you had every reason to break down, to give in to fear, to lose yourself in frustration. But you didn't. You might have stumbled, you might have hurt, but something inside you refused to collapse. You gathered yourself, you breathed, and you carried on with a strength most people wouldn't even recognize as humanly possible. You've walked through fire, but the flames didn't consume you. You've faced heartbreak, but it didn't destroy you. You've stood in the middle of storms that should have drowned you, but instead you became the calm within them. That is not by accident. That is because you have something within you that is greater than the troubles around you. You understand something most people don't. That peace is not found in the absence of problems. It is found in the presence of unshakable faith, of deep self-awareness, of a trust in something greater than yourself. There was a time when you let the noise of the world dictate your emotions. Someone's bad mood could ruin your day. Someone's opinion could shake your confidence. Someone's rejection could make you question your worth. But not anymore. Because now you've learned that true peace is not controlled by external circumstances. True peace is a choice. And you, my dear, have chosen it. Have you ever watched how people react to you? They come to you for advice, not just because you are wise, but because they can feel your energy. There is something about you that makes them feel safe. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to argue. You don't need to shout to be heard. Your presence alone speaks volumes. You could be sitting silently in a room, and yet your energy fills the space. That is the power of inner peace. It commands attention without demanding it. Look at the world around you. People are constantly chasing happiness, constantly looking for something to make them feel complete. They think peace will come when they get the job, the relationship, the money, the validation, but you've realized that peace isn't found in things, it's found in knowing who you are. It's found in letting go of the need to control everything. It's found in surrendering to what is meant for you and releasing what isn't. There are people who will try to disturb your peace. They will test you, provoke you, try to pull you into their chaos. But the difference between who you were before and who you are now is this. You no longer react. You no longer give your energy to things that don't deserve it. You know the power of silence. You know the strength of walking away. You know that protecting your peace is not just an act of self-care, it is an act of self-respect. And that is why you are different. That is why people notice you even if they don't understand why. That is why you can walk into a room and shift the energy without saying a word. Because a woman with inner peace is the most powerful force on this planet. She is not easily shaken. She is not easily broken. She is not easily controlled. She moves with grace, with certainty, with a knowing that cannot be explained, only felt. Pain. It's a word most people fear, a feeling most people run from, but not you. You have met pain, looked it in the eyes, and instead of letting it break you, you allowed it to build you. Every scar on your heart, every tear you've shed, every moment of suffering, you didn't let them define you. You turned them into something greater. You turned them into purpose. Look at your past. Look at everything you have been through. The heartbreak that left you shattered. The betrayal that made you question humanity. The losses that felt like they stole a piece of your soul. Most people would have given up. Most people would have allowed the pain to make them bitter, to close off their hearts, to walk through life carrying resentment. But you did something different. You used that pain as fuel. You took what tried to destroy you and transformed it into something meaningful. There was a time when you asked, why is this happening to me? A time when you felt like life was unfair, when the weight of your struggles felt unbearable. But somewhere along the way, you stopped seeing pain as a punishment. You started seeing it as preparation. Because now when you look back, you realize that every hardship was shaping you. Every tear was watering your growth. Every closed door was redirecting you to something better. Think about it. If you had never experienced heartbreak, would you have learned how strong you truly are? If you had never been betrayed, would you have learned the value of real, loyal people? If you had never struggled, would you have discovered the depth of your resilience? Every single painful moment in your life has led you to this version of yourself. The version that is wiser, stronger, and unstoppable. Have you noticed how people gravitate toward you? How they come to you when they're struggling, when they're lost, when they feel like giving up? That's because you carry something powerful, understanding. You don't just speak words of encouragement, you speak from experience. You have walked through the darkness and found your way out, and now you are a light for others. Maybe you once sat in silence, drowning in your own pain, thinking no one would ever understand. But now you are the person who gives others hope. The one who reminds them that their pain has a purpose. The one who shows them that suffering is not the end, it's the beginning of something greater. Look at the most inspiring people in the world. The ones who have changed lives, the ones who have left a mark. Do you think they lived easy lives? No. They have suffered, they have fallen, they have felt every ounce of pain that life had to offer. But instead of letting it consume them, they used it to rise. And that is exactly what you have done. You didn't let your pain make you bitter, you let it make you better. You didn't let your suffering silence you, you let it give you a voice. You didn't let your past define you, you let it refine you. And now every time you share your story, every time you help someone else through their struggles, you are proving one simple truth. Your pain was never meant to break you. It was meant to build you into the person you were always meant to become. There's something about you, something unspoken, something powerful, something radiant. It's not just the way you walk, the way you talk, or the way you carry yourself. It's deeper than that. It's the energy you bring into a room. It's the way people turn their heads, not because of how you look, but because of how you make them feel. You have a glow that can't be explained, a light that isn't found in makeup, fashion, or anything external. It comes from within, from the battles you've fought, from the pain you've endured, and from the wisdom you've gained. Some women shine because of what they wear, some because of their beauty, but you glow because of the fire inside you. The fire that was lit by every challenge you faced, every heartbreak you survived, every moment of doubt you turned into strength. There was a time when life tried to dim your light, when people tried to make you feel small, when circumstances pushed you to the edge of breaking. But you didn't break. You burned brighter. Have you ever noticed how some people are drawn to you, yet they don't even know why? They watch you, admire you, try to understand you. They ask, what is it about her? It's not just confidence, not just grace, it's something divine. A woman who has faced her darkest moments and still chooses to rise carries a glow that no one can ignore. It's the glow of resilience, of self-worth, of knowing exactly who you are and refusing to be anything less. Your glow is not arrogance, it is assurance. You do not beg for attention, yet you receive it effortlessly. You do not seek validation, yet people can't help but respect you. Because when a woman truly knows her worth, it shows. It radiates from her eyes, from her smile, from the way she walks into a room with quiet power. Think of the people who once underestimated you. The ones who doubted your strength, who tried to break you, who thought you would never make it. Look at you now, thriving, glowing, shining in ways they never expected. That's the beauty of a woman who refuses to be defeated. She becomes unstoppable and the world takes notice. Your glow is not just about your past struggles, it's about your present peace. You don't waste your energy on things that no longer serve you. You don't entertain drama, negativity, or anything that tries to steal your joy. You protect your energy like a queen guards her kingdom. And that is why you glow differently. People will wonder how you do it. They will ask, how can she go through so much and still smile? How can she lose everything and still carry herself with such grace? How can she be so unshaken by the world? The answer is simple. You have something they don't understand. You have inner peace, self-love, and a connection to something greater than yourself. And that is why your glow can't be explained, it can only be felt. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to shrink yourself to fit into spaces that couldn't contain your greatness. You were born to stand out, to rise, to glow with a fire that refuses to be dimmed. Look at your journey. Look at how far you have come. Every moment of doubt, every tear, every heartbreak, it was all shaping you into the woman you are today. And now you stand tall, unshaken, unbreakable. You are not just a survivor, you are a force. The world has tried to tell you that you are too much. Too strong, too bold, too independent, too different. But let me tell you this, you are not too much. You are exactly enough. The people who can't handle your fire will always try to convince you to cool down. The ones intimidated by your strength will try to make you feel weak. But a woman who knows her worth, who walks with purpose, who refuses to apologize for who she is unstoppable. And that is you. You have walked through storms that would have destroyed others. You have felt pain that could have broken you. But instead of becoming a prisoner of your past, you used it as fuel. You turned your pain into power, your heartbreak into wisdom, your struggles into a story that will inspire generations to come. You are not here to merely exist. You are here to leave a legacy, to show the world what a woman blessed by God looks like. And let's get one thing straight. You do not need permission to be great. You do not need validation from anyone to shine. The only approval you ever needed was your own. Stop waiting for someone to recognize your value. Stop waiting for the world to celebrate you. Celebrate yourself. Because the moment you realize that your worth was never dependent on someone else's perception, you become untouchable. Some people will never understand your journey. They will question why you are the way you are, why you refuse to settle, why you demand more, why you walk away from anything that does not align with your soul. Let them wonder, let them talk. Because a lioness does not lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be legendary. The glow you carry, the wisdom you speak, the peace that radiates from within you, these are not ordinary things. They are the marks of a woman who has been chosen for something greater. A woman whose purpose is bigger than she can even imagine. And that is why you cannot afford to play small. That is why you cannot afford to doubt yourself. There is a fire inside you that was meant to set the world ablaze. So walk with confidence, speak with power, love without fear, and never ever lower your standards to make someone else comfortable. You are a woman blessed by God. You are rare, you are divine, and you are exactly who you were always meant to be. The world hasn't even seen the best of you yet. This is just the beginning.